Hello, my name is Sophia, and today I'm going to be doing my student presentation video reflecting on the wellness practice that I chose for my systematic survey, that being strength training or resistance training. And so I'm going to be analyzing and talking about the things that I found within the scientific literature and also the popular literature. So to start off, what exactly is strength training? So strength training is a specific physical exercise that focuses on the resistance of muscles, help building strength, and it's an anaerobic endurance that helps increase with the size of muscles. So within this exercise, some of the things that a person can use to help with building more muscle and strength are free weights, specific resistance bands, and exercise balls, and those are just to name a few of the things that can be used within this wellness practice. And so I'm going to first talk about what I found within the different pieces of scientific literature. So some of the symptoms and improvements that were found within the research and studies were that in all of the studies within the specific patients, whether it was the analysis of the older men, women with arthritis, or the study comparing resistance training within young men, they were able to find that there was an increase in muscle mass and that there was also improvement with physical everyday tasks. So that would be including walking up the stairs, being able to reach for certain objects with cabinets, being able to help getting dressed in the morning, being able to do a daily task throughout the day, whether it's in school or work. And so with the scientific literature, it definitely stressed more on the physical components and aspects that can happen within the physiology of the body. So some of these being an increase in the oxygen uptake within a person's lungs, or an increase within the heart rate, which helps overall benefit cardiovascular heart health, and an increase within mobility, which pertains to being able to carry out daily tasks. And so this is pretty important with strength training, resistance training, because if a person is able to help maintain ventilation in their lungs and cardiovascular health, this will help with the longevity and being able to carry out a daily healthy lifestyle and not deal with symptoms or being able to develop some certain diseases like type 2 diabetes, or high blood pressure, or chronic pain, or being able to experience onset of specific factors that come into play as we age and as our body deteriorates. So as I mentioned, the scientific literature really focused more on the physical aspects of strength training. And so within the popular literature, which was analyzing different evidence and sources from websites and blogs, and specifically the American Cancer Society website, I found that for resistance training, there are a lot of great things that can happen, physical aspects and emotional well-being aspects. So first I'll explain some of the physical aspects that were found. And so like I said before, it can help with preventing or onsetting specific diseases like type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, chronic pain, and age factors. And it also helps with some of the symptoms that were found within the scientific literature also, like increasing muscle mass, increasing heart rate, helping with ventilation of the lungs. So within both types of literature, there was lots of overlap with specific symptoms and benefits of the wellness practice. But within the popular literature, one of the things that was very much emphasized was the emotional well-being aspects and how resistance training can help with overall mental health, which the scientific literature didn't really go much in depth of. So some of the symptoms that were found within the popular literature that they expanded on discussing the emotional well-being and health were that it helps with overall improvement of the central nervous system, so that would be your brain and your spinal cord, and how that sends different signals throughout the body and helps pertaining with the overall functioning of your brain. And so this helps with your emotions and your perception on mood and how you carry out your daily tasks in everyday life. And so one of the things that they really stressed on was how that with resistance and strength training, this can help release specific endorphins and neurotransmitters that really greatly affect with your mood and perception. And it helps with pertaining with your memory and focus within your daily life. And one of the huge last things that they mentioned, that they emphasized a lot on, was an increase in self-esteem and confidence within oneself. And so with strength training and resistance training, this definitely would be a very vital factor, because with a development of better confidence and with your self-esteem, you're able to carry on yourself and able to have more greater abilities and believing in oneself to help with carrying out this wellness practice. And overall, it was also found in the popular literature that it helps with specific symptoms of anxiety and depression and reducing those, which is a huge thing because both of those mental disorders are very common within the US. And so overall, from both the scientific and the popular literature, there was lots of overlap with specific symptoms, but mainly focusing on the emotional health and the physical health, because it's important for a person to have a well balance between those two factors. And yeah, that is what I found within my systematic survey.